All right, just to catch you up, what we've been doing so far today is this is the starting point of it. Step one was replacing the hinges because we're going to use the doors as a reference for lining up the quarters when we put those on. New hinges on both sides. This door here, we just about got the gaps where we want them. They're a little bit off, but we can adjust that when we put the quarter on. But the important thing is, door's shutting real good. Over here, I literally just completed putting the new hinges on over here, and this door, aside from some gap alignment, shuts pretty good as well, so we're getting it dialed in. Well, in lining this door up, we've ran into a problem, as you can see by the fact that I've cut a big hole in it. This door is damaged where this hinge is. It's been knocked back quite a bit. And we found a rust hole here, so I opted to go ahead and I'm going to replace the door skin on this door the same way I did the other one. So we cut this out so we can see if we can hammer this back out flat, because it does have a pretty sizable dent there. And if we can hammer that flat, that'll get it thick. But right now it's got a gap of about that much on the inner hole on that, so we're definitely going to have to do some work on that. We have to get the doors positioned properly before we can start cutting the quarters off. Okay, as mentioned before, the problem we ran into was this door had been pounded on that direction, throwing the entire alignment off. My brother had to apply some heat to it so we could knock this back in. That's why we cut this out. We had a rust hole here, so I decided early on to go ahead and reskin this door anyway, since I know how to do that now. Applied some heat here, knocked it out that way. Had to open up our holes here just a little bit, and the results, we've got a good paint stick width gap here. Everything shuts good. On to the next. And for the record, where we stand is the doors are on with new hinges. They're opening and closing great. Gaps are reasonable. They're a little bit off on this one, but that's not a problem. We can fix that with the quarters. Right now, it's simply a matter of starting to cut quarters off of it now and replace sheet metal. We're going to start with the left quarter, which is the worst one. Cut that off. Get it situated where we can weld the new one on, get all the gaps and everything set on it. And then we'll go around the car. Of course, the tail panel is going to be replaced. As you can see, I've got two good quarters here. I've got the corner pieces, which are these right here. And of course, I've got a new tail panel as well. With the reskinning of that door, the only factory metal on the outside of the body that's going to remain on the car is going to be the top and the sail panels and the A-pillar, which is not a problem because that'll make it that much easier to do body work. Those quarters have a lot of problems on it. The reason I decided to go ahead and replace this one is it's got a crease right here. We've got rust here, damage here, and if you can look in here, I'm not sure if we can see it or not, where that's coming through, that's a hole that somebody just basically used the paving method of body filler to fill that. So next is cutting the stuff off. You'll notice that this right here, the way this panel works, he previously did some work on this side and removed the lead. I am not going to go back on with lead because frankly it's difficult to find anybody that does this kind of work. I certainly don't have the ability to do it, but there is a new type of filler called metal to metal. That's what I'm going to be using on this to fill that out once we get the new quarter on it.
Come the same way, right here.
Right there? Right there. Yeah, good deal.
Still on that.
Dropping everything. What I wanted to do is I wanted to leave this tail light intact so we could get the spacing right when we put this back up. Because remember, this cuts right here. And I want to be sure to get that spacing right. Okay, the tail panel up to that point is loose. I've got this pinch weld loose here. Up here. I think. Actually, that's just the tail panel. We're going to put it through. I believe. Yeah, I've got a little bit of one right there. buy you a new one if I break it.
Well, you bought that one.
Huh?
You bought that
No,
one.
I'm not afraid. See what I mean? Problem is, with this thing here, do that. How much you think
Easier to fix it.
You think it'd be easier to fix it?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It ain't gonna be seen. You ain't gotta be beautiful at it.
I agree. I just wanted you to see it before I made any big decisions. What do you think?
I think half your car's gone.
I think you're right.
So am I guessing that the fender really wasn't held on?
Right here?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
So they just made that piece.
As soon as I cut around that rim right there,
It was loose.
that came right off. But I didn't want to take a risk of getting in here, but it looks like we're going to have to cut it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's exposed. Alright, just like that, a quarter of the car is gone. I wanted to be conservative on my cuts so we can expose where this is so I don't cut into the inner panels. Good idea. You can see the original repair. They basically just went in there and cut out a huge section and replaced it. And looking at the wheel arch, you saw how easily it came off. Well, they didn't even weld this to the inner panel. And there are some areas like that right there where they basically just use body filler to hold it in. Guys, body filler is not structural. Not a good idea. And it looks like they just came in here and spotted this just a couple of ways and used the body filler as a kind of glue to hold it all into place. Also, if you notice the white powder that was flying when I was cutting into this, that was body filler I was cutting into. So it's definitely a good thing we decided to go ahead and replace the entire panel. Back here you can see this drop down right here is eating up a little bit. We're contemplating replacing that as we go. That's probably going to happen. This back here is okay. We can weld to that, that's no problem. I cut around this because I wanted to save this inner brace here. That'll be a lot easier to cut loose now that I've got that apart. And while I've also got this apart, I'm going to be in here and I'm going to use my strip discs to clean up all of this in the trunk area. That way we can go. I'm about to crawl under and see if the passenger side wheel arch is eaten up as bad as this one. What we've decided to do is we're gonna order new wheel arches, but I don't want to come in here and have to dig into all of this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use part of the panel, cut around the edge here, and cut that off of the new panel and just graft it into this right here. That way it's new metal and we're good to go. Of course, while we got all this apart, I'm also going to come in here, as I always do, wheel brush all of this, spray it with rust encapsulating primer. That way it's done. But I still have some cleanup work to do to get this ready for the new panel. I think I may go ahead and order a new drop down panel too, just because that one is pretty bad at the bottom where the pinch weld is, and it might make things easier. It's not that big of a deal with it this far down to replace this panel, because all you have to do is come in here and cut along this line right there and then plug weld it into place. I think that might be the plan. Let's keep going. Okay, I managed to get this part cleaned off down here. After seeing this, I'm a little bit more at ease because this was the area that I was always worried about how we would attach it, but it's simply spot welded on top of this panel here. We can reach in here and plug weld it along. I've bent these panels back to expose where this needs to be separated here. I'll do the same on this eventually, but I'm going to try to go ahead and chisel this part out. That way I can free it up from the door jamb.
You're very fond of that chisel.
It works, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. It works well.
It's this bit. This bit's tapered, see?
So it works like a chisel.
Yeah. Way of getting there behind it. You see me doing anything colossally wrong, let me know.
Hey, go this way. Go this way.
I don't even think that's attached down here.
I didn't think it would be.
Say what?
I didn't think it would be.
Okay. What? All right. How much roll? Yep. How about tour? How about tour? Me. Thank you. Okay, a quick roundup of what we've got done. Rust repair is now complete on the outer wheel tub. I've got everything brushed cleaned up and in rust encapsulating primer. The trunk drop has been completely replaced with the new piece. So all of the inner sheet metal on this side is done. I believe we're now basically ready to clean up the edges where the spot welds go, and we're going to go ahead and hang the quarter. That'll be on the next trip down. What I've spent time doing this, I've got to get in here, and I'll probably do this tomorrow morning. Went ahead and started cleaning up the trunk area. I'm going to rust encapsulate every bit of this. Still got to take this top piece off of this brace here so we can hang the tail light panel, but that'll come later. Everything is looking much better. But that is done. Now next on this trip, basically all I'm going to be doing to finish that off is to go ahead and rust encapsulate the inner part of the trunk. And then I have got to go to the 3rd annual Music Makers of Little Rock, Arkansas reunion. The original crew gets together every year, and this is the 3rd time we'll be doing that. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow after I depart from rust encapsulating the inside of the trunk. These areas over here I'm going to wait because obviously this quarter's coming off, so I'll be able to get in there a little bit better. So basically from here over tomorrow morning I'm going to encapsulate that after I can get in here and blow all the debris away and clean up my mess. Let's keep going. Well, I've decided to wind up weekend number 2 and this particular video as part 1 of this. I've got the quarter roughly in place, clamped on. There's going to have to be some massaging, of course, but in reality, if you want to know the truth, it's actually fitting a lot better than I was afraid it was going to. Got this hooked in up here, clamped down. This actually will push into place. It's just I don't have anything to clamp it down with right now. This has got a little bit of hammering to do right here. Of course, we got some work to do up here as well. I can pull that pinch out right there, get that into place. I'll mess with that the next time I'm down. Down here you can see my pinch wells and everything look wonderful. On the inside it looks like it's going to fit just fine. The wheel arch with a little bit of tweaking is going to be great, so no issues there. I think this is definitely going to work. It's going to take some more hammering and everything to get it done, but we will definitely get it into place. Then of course after that it's time to move on to the next quarter panel, and we will get that situated as well. So this trip we got the wheel arch rust repair done, we got everything cleaned up. You can see the trunk on the inside is cleaned up quite a bit, looks completely different now. We're slowly but surely getting this knocked out. Now I am going to be not coming down next weekend due to family obligations, but I will be down again in 2 weeks from the day I'm videoing this, which of course the date of this release of this video is not going to coincide with that, but I will be continuing this to get this car into shape. I've still got to do the door skin on the other side. I ordered it from Jegs. Jegs had to drop ship it from the manufacturer. They were going to take too long. I found a different vendor. It'll be here Monday, so I'll bring it up and have it ready to go when the time comes to reskin that door as well. We're moving along, getting it done as quickly and as cautiously and as meticulously as we can. With that, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. This will be part 1 of all the sheet metal work on this Mustang. I hope you enjoy content like this. Be sure and hit like and subscribe if you're not already. We're going to continue this journey, and we'll also continue on the Volkswagen as well. Be sure and stick around. We'll see you next time.